All right. Hi, Dimitro. It's really nice to see you. And can you just introduce, first of all, who you are to our audience?
Hi everyone, I'm DMYTRO. I am a music production student here at DMYU. I'm a music producer, obviously. I also play a couple of instruments, write music myself, obviously. I'm trying to use the vocals a little bit in my music, but not that really good at it. So I guess I'll just do different things that I find interesting and try to kind of make something out of it, I guess.
How long have you been composing music already? How many years?
To be honest, if we're talking about me taking this process seriously, I guess for like 6 years, because I started composing seriously when I first got my hands on some digital audio workstation. Before, I mostly was using piano, but these were just like little experiments, you know, nothing too expensive, I'd say.
And what inspires you in your process? Do you have a muse or some particular activity? What makes you kind of wanting to create something?
I guess I just really like music overall. So I just want to do something as cool as other people are doing. So that's probably my main motivation. In terms of the actual topics of the music that I'm writing, usually they come from some inner emotions or feelings that I'm feeling, obviously, but instead of me just, you know, pouring all of my insights on the listeners, I try to use some metaphors, try to, I guess, reproduce these feelings as sounds, I'd say, so that it would feel more artistic and musical overall.
All right. And do you just compose music, or you also create songs?
Of course, most of my music is actually so far has been songs. Right now, I'm working on the composition, which is like 10 minutes long. So I'm not sure if it can be even called a conventional song, but there is the structure. The structure of the song is in there. The lyrics, there are lyrics. So I guess you can just call most of what I'm doing just songwriting. But I'm trying to make it interesting most of the time.
So songwriting, do you create lyrics yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too good at it so far, I'd say, but I'm really happy at how fast I'm like been improving for the last like 2 years or so. So I guess I'm gonna get somewhere with this too.
And I wonder, well, you didn't mention that, but you come from Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
And do your songs are in Ukrainian or in English or in another language?
To be fair, they're usually in English. That's probably because most of the music that I listen to, not all of it, but like the vast majority is in English itself. So probably at this point, for me, it is just even easier to write lyrics in the English language, because that's the kind of lyrical content that I'm most usually exposed to.
Okay. Now, Dimitro, that's a question of what's the most challenging. I would not know exactly myself what would be the best answer. And to be honest, that's changing. But this is the question to you. What makes a good song? What do you need to have to make a good song?
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good question. Probably at some point when you have first of all, you need to have some kind of initial idea. I'd say it can be something that you really like have been thinking for a long time. You have like specific plan what the song should be about, or it can be just, you know, something that came out of a jam when you were just playing around. But when you have this idea and rough plan of the song, I guess it's very important to kind of understand what the song needs. So what elements should you add to the song to make it like really shine? So I guess at some point the song just starts writing itself, I guess, when you kind of have this vision established. And if you follow this kind of the needs of the song, probably you'll be satisfied with the final result. I mean, that's usually how it is in my case. So I'd say just don't add random stuff. Just see what really works in the concrete song in particular case.
I agree. That usually helps. Now, you mentioned songs. How many have you composed so far? How many of them are available already?
In terms of published songs, I have like a small compilation and a single that I really like actually on my SoundCloud. But I have quite a bit of songs that are composed, but they aren't like produced, aren't recorded yet, because I either didn't have time or just I decided that I need to like spend some time working on other things and then come back to them, because kind of I got tired of hearing them all the time, I guess. So there's more stuff behind the scenes, obviously. Maybe it will see the light of the day one day.
I hope so. I do hope so. And can you tell us where you can be found? Are you on SoundCloud or maybe Spotify, where people could listen to your work? So we will also publish in the video description as well.
Yeah, I have a SoundCloud. It's called Memory Patrol. Basically, it's probably the only place that have my music right now available, but I also, I think, added a couple of YouTube videos on a YouTube channel that you can actually access from the SoundCloud. Like there's a link. So that's where my main output is located right now. For the Spotify part, I think that's just something, at least I feel like it is something very official, and to go into like actually being published somewhere, you really have to have really good preparation for it. So like you have to be ready with the clear vision what you're gonna do, like with the release stages. So I mean, of course you can just put like a couple of songs in there, but nobody's gonna listen to it, because like that's how Spotify works. So I guess as soon as I find time and courage to actually do all this package for press release, it's going to be in other places as well, obviously.
Yes, that's a good take. We sometimes think about that, sometimes we don't. But I wonder if you have any idea who is your listener, who is your audience, what would be a typical audience in your music?
Well, considering most of my music has both elements of like alternative rock, I guess, indie and electronics, I guess the people who are like coming from these genres are usually the target audience. But I'm usually really open to like experimenting and adding some different stuff to my music. So playing like with dissonance, maybe adding some unconventional sounds, like stuff like that, which just at least entertains me while I'm making the music. But hopefully maybe people who are like open-minded, I guess, in general, will be able to appreciate what I'm doing too.
And have you thought about the reason why they should listen to your music? Have you?
Well, first of all, I know how much effort I'm putting in there, so I hope that when people are listening to it, it can be like clearly heard from the arrangement, from the recordings that I'm putting in there. But also, I guess that's just I'm always trying to make something unique. So sometimes it is more successful in this regard. Sometimes I'm not that successful in this regard, but I'm always like, I don't just have like a specific template. Okay, I'm making music in this genre. Like, of course, I'm gravitating towards some selection of influences, but as I said, I'm always trying to keep things interesting. So I guess that's the main point that I would envision the outside listener would be interested in.
All right. Well, you talk about interesting stuff and that's exciting. What about things you dislike most in this process of music production? Is there anything you don't like, don't feel comfortable, or you know just have bad feelings about it?
Mm, I guess I pretty much used to it already, but it still sometimes happens when I have like a song, the initial idea in there, and I can't really, I don't have either the courage, or maybe I'm just tired from hearing it all the time, so I don't really feel motivated to like continue to build on this initial idea. So I really have to like push myself to like do like the most basic stuff that a song even needs. And sometimes this really helps to get through this like period of not being interested in making music, and you'll have a good song. In the end, sometimes you just get tired and leave it for some other day. So I guess just sticking to the initial idea when you have other stuff in your head it can be quite hard.
Okay. Let's talk about the things people love talking about. It's the gear. Okay. What's your DAW? What's your setup? How you work?
Well, I'm using Bitwig Studio. I have been using Bitwig Studio from basically from the very first time I started composing. It was like my first DAW, and I have tried different programs like FL and Ableton, and I kind of didn't feel the need to switch from it so far. Right now, I'm just using audio interface. There's like a guitar back in there, and I'm doing all of my sketching because I don't have a microphone on my phone here. Yeah, but that's just because I'm far away from my studio, which is in Kyiv right now, and I probably don't have to explain why I can't go there right now. Before it, I was using a guitar, a bass, and I also have a piano and a little synthesizer, the Arturia microfig that I've been using to do sound design. So I guess just whatever fits as I said, fits the need of the song, I'm just using it. But I also really like to work with real instruments, like being able to play stuff. So that's probably my main interest right now.
All right, fantastic. From your own perspective, do you have some leaders in your field, the producers you really like, you enjoy, and they work what they do, and can you name them?
If we're talking purely about producers, well, he's not even only a producer, he's like very prolific guy, Zach Hill. He's from acts like Hella, Death Grip. So basically the thing with this guy, because he has been making music for like 20 or 30 years already. What I love about people in music when they're like really trying new things all the time and like pioneering different sounds like throughout their entire career. And this is basically like the definition of what this guy has been doing for like the entirety of his music career, I guess. I also really like Jamie Stewart from Shushu. He's for pretty much I get the same reasons. There are a couple of other people, but they're like more from a like songwriting perspective and arrangement perspective. They're not so much as producers, but I guess if we're talking actually about like producing music, these two would be the most interesting for me.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Those names, and you look in their work, their career path. I wonder if you have your own vision. So what's happening next? You're almost graduating, and you have your vision, what you want to do next, where you're gonna lead, what you want to try, as much as you can share with us.
Right now, I'm really thinking, I'm not only thinking, like I'm already preparing to go to internship to Canada. I think it's going to be a very important experience in my life, I guess, from both the perspective of just being something new and trying something interesting. And also, I hope that it will enable me to make connections with different people in the industry. Because honestly, like if we're talking about like ideal world, I just want to make music that I want to make, and I want other people to throw their money at me for what I'm making. But this kind of, I guess, a little bit too idealistic so far. So right now I'm just trying to get into like the industry with a job, either like an audio engineer or maybe assistant of a music producer. So something I would not get tired of doing every day, I guess, and something that would enable me to, as I said, like make connection with people. And from there, I will build my career wherever it goes. Of course, the end goal for me is still to be able to at least make my own music for a living.
Fantastic. That's great. New and a courageous move. Congratulations on that. So my question to you, and when you mentioned this professional setter, did you think about or identify the reasons why people should hire you? What would those qualities you think you have that that would be useful in the industry, and people should work with you?
That's actually a pretty good question. I guess one of the main reasons is that that I can get quite focused, like for a long period of time. So, if someone gives me, even if I myself give me a specific like task that I have to do, I can spend like hours doing it and not like getting distracted, or sometimes even like having a meal or something, which is probably, and sometimes it can be a little bit too much, but I guess it's the people who will be coming to work with me, they will understand and notice this dedication, and hopefully this will inspire them to come back to me once again and once again. And also, I think I'm always trying to put some creative elements and in even like the most tedious kind of work, I guess. So if something like doesn't work in the mix, I try to do something like the other way. I try to pan the instruments around or add some rotary effects, like different things that will just enhance the piece, enhance the mix. So I guess just me trying to be creative in different parts of the process will also be noticed. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wonder if you have any credo or kind of value you are always responding to in your decisions on your life. Is anything you have on your own developed, or you use any of these statements maybe in your life?
I guess I'm always trying to also think long term, not only like the short term, like making decisions, what should I do now or tomorrow, but I'm always trying to like have a plan. And if I have some interesting project, but I realize that it probably wouldn't benefit me in the long run, I probably would not be taking it. However, if I see that there is like a specific task, I guess, or specific once again project that would be beneficial for me, even if it's like really hard to get into and all the stuff, I will still try to think from my a little bit, I guess, personal perspective and see how it will make me feel in like 5 years or 10 years. So far it has been working quite well, because that's probably the main reason why I got enrolled in the university, because I wanted to pursue music as my main career path. So I guess that would be it.
All right. So if talking about long term, let me ask you a question. How do you envision yourself when you are, for example, 60 years old? What you have achieved, where you are, what you do, what's your maybe?
Yeah, of course, it's kind of hard to say now, but that's the point of the question, I guess. I probably would want to have achieved this state where I'm at least able to pay my bills and make a living out of my own music. Yeah, that's the main thing, I guess. But also from more broad perspective, I probably would love to collaborate with different kinds of people, musicians, maybe not only musicians, maybe some like filmmakers or whoever else, because I just love art in pretty much any of its form, and I want to contribute my ideas to other people's great ideas. I also probably would want to live and work in different countries, or at least like try to do it, because as I said, different parts of the world can expose you to different people and different cultures, and who knows how it will impact you on your career path or different like life path in general. I guess that's everything that I can come up with so far.
Fantastic. Well, DMYTRO, it's been really a big pleasure to have you in our conversation. And I would like to wish you all the best in your career development and those collaborations you mentioned. I hope that sometime in the future you will also come back to Lithuania for the collaboration, and will work after graduation with the artists also from Lithuania. So thank you very much for this conversation and inspiring thoughts. And we wish you all the best in the remaining of your studies, and later on, after the studies, in your dream directions you are taking. So thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you very much too.